Hello and welcome everyone, Damali here. Are you ready to decode the world of data? Do you want to transform raw numbers into meaningful insight that drive impactful decision? If that sounds exciting, then congratulations, you've landed in the right place. Welcome to our comprehensive SQL tutorial specially crafted for aspiring data analysts. In this series, not only will we explore the depth of databases and unlock the power of data manipulation, but we will also be working on real projects together. Yes, you heard that right. You'll be getting your hands dirty with actual data set, applying what you've learned in real time from the basic select statement to complex join. We will be covering it all using these tools to solve practical problems. So are you ready to become a data-driven decision maker? Then do me a favor and poke the subscribe button, ring the bell like you mean it. Let's send some positive vibes to the YouTube algorithm. Let's get started. What is SQL? SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, is a programming language used to manage and manipulate databases. Developers use SQL to create, modify, and extract data from relational databases, as well as control user access to the database. SQL operates through simple declarative statements. This keeps data accurate and secure, helps maintain the integrity of data regardless of size. The language is incredibly flexible and powerful, and it is used in a wide variety of roles from web development to data analysis and beyond. The main types of SQL command include create to make new database and data object, select to find and retrieve data, insert to add new data, update to change existing data, and delete pretty much to remove data. Let me walk you guys through an example. Let's say you are in a huge library with thousands of books on numerous shelves. There are all kinds of books, fiction, non-fiction, comic, and encyclopedia, you name it, but you are looking for a specific book. Let's say Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. How will you find it? You could wander around looking at every single bookshelf until you find it, but that will take ages. Instead of you ask the librarian because they know exactly where every book is located. You say, I want Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and the librarian takes you right to it. In this case, SQL is like the librarian, but for data. It knows exactly where everything is stored in a massive database. So when you ask SQL or query it, something like, I want all the data where the person's name is Luna, SQL can quickly and effectively get that data for you. It's a way to search through and manage large set of data just like a librarian in a huge library. Now that we've covered the definition and example, let's jump right in and set up our SQL environment. We'll be using MySQL for this tutorial as it's a popular choice. It's robust, and best of all, it's free. So without further ado, here are the steps to go get MySQL and get up running on our system. Navigate to the official MySQL website. I've tapped the link in the description to make things start easy. So let's click on the download button, and what we need here, we don't need an enterprise edition, we don't need cluster. What we need is the community version. So this one down there below, which says the community, this one is what we need. So we're gonna go ahead and click it, and then from here we'll click the installer for Windows, and we're gonna go ahead and click on this particular download, the one below. And it will take us to this page, and on this page we don't need to sign up or log in, so we're gonna go no thanks and click on no thanks, and it will take us onto the page that will install our software for us. So we'll go ahead and click download, and then we'll wait for it to finish downloading. 3 or 4 options, so we're gonna go ahead and click the custom. That's what we need. We don't need a full version, we don't need a client only. What we need here is the custom version. So we're gonna go ahead and click the custom, and then we'll go ahead and click next, and it will take us to the page that we need to be able to install our application successfully. There's a lot of product that comes with MySQL, but what we need is the server. So we're gonna go ahead and click the first plus button, and we're gonna click another plus button, and this is what we need for the server, and we're gonna click the green arrow towards the right, and then we also need to click on the application, the plus sign, and we're gonna go click the workbench, click the plus sign, and then we'll go ahead and click the plus sign again, and this is what we need for the workbench. So we'll click the green arrow again, and the last thing that we need is the shell. So we'll go ahead and click the plus sign and click the plus sign again. We'll click the list one, and it will take us this. So these are the products that we need to install for our project, and then we'll go ahead and hit next, and it will take us to where we need to install our application successfully. So let's go ahead and click the next, and then we'll take us to where we need to go. And these are when we'll go ahead and click execute, and it will go ahead and install the server, workbench, and the shell. So now our product is completely installed. We'll go ahead and click next, and then from here we'll click next as well. And on this page you don't need to do anything. I will just go ahead and click next as well. And also this page we'll go click next, and here we need a root password. So this password is, you need to remember it since we're going to be using it throughout our project. So make sure you remember this password, and we will use it. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the password. And then we're going to click next, and it will take us to this page. We don't need to do anything. Click next, I will go click next, and I will go ahead and execute. Once we execute, it will apply all the final changes, and everything will be installed. We'll go ahead and click finish, and that's it. It will take us to 2 pages and our workbench and our shell. Alright folks, once we have MySQL workbench open, let's click on the local host, and it will prompt us to enter the password. And so let's go ahead and enter the password. And once we're done entering the password, let's go ahead and click OK, and that's it. We will be able to start working. Alright folks, let's get started. First, let's start with some steps for us to create any inquiry in our SQL. So let's start with some basic steps. So for us to be able to create any inquiry, first we have to create a database and create a table, and also insert a table. First of all, let me explain this to you, everyone. The / asterisk and close here is a multi-line comment that we use to this is a multi-line comment that can span multiple lines. So basically it's used to give a comment in the code. Assuming we wanted to give a single comment, we will use hash to give a single comment. So hash is used for single comment, whilst we use the asterisk / asterisk to have a multiple line comment. So since we're giving a multiple line comment can be helpful for explaining the purpose of complex queries, documenting code, or leaving notes for yourself or other developers who might read the code in the future. Remember that comments are ignored by the MySQL query engine and do not impact the execution of your SQL statements. So let's go ahead and start creating our database. In order for us to create our database, let's click on this, create a new schema in the connected server. So we'll click this, and we'll be able to name our new database. So let's name this M.DAMALIE. So let's name this M.DAMALIE underscore 23, and then we'll go ahead and apply, and then apply changes. Okay, and then we'll go apply, and then finish. So there we go, our database is already created. So in order for us to be able to select our database, we will go ahead and use this query. So we'll go to be able to select, you say use M.DAMALIE underscore 23, and then we'll close it with this parenthesis. And when we run it here, it will select here. So now we have our database tables. We don't have any tables here, so now we can go ahead and start importing some data sets into our file. So before we import our tables or data sets into the MySQL database, I want to be able to explain what data set is. So data set is a structured collection of data that is organized and presented in a specific format for analysis, processing, or information retrieval. It can it can contain various types of data such as text, numbers, images, videos, or any other form of information. Datasets are commonly used in various fields, including statistics, machine learning, data analysis, and research. So just for your context, so let's go ahead and import our dataset into. So you'll go ahead and right click it, and here you will see a table data import wizard. So we'll go ahead and click this, and it will take us there. So we'll go ahead and browse our file, and where I want it, it's my data set is in my desktop. So then I'll click data set. So this is what I wanted to import. So you can go ahead and click one and then click the control, and then so let's start importing one by one. So let's start with categories, so just we can practice. So categories, and you go open, and you go next, and you go next, and then you click import. So next, and then next, and then finish. And then when we refresh it right here, you'll be able to see our tables categories that we just imported. So let's go ahead and import all our tables. So we'll go ahead and click it again, table data import wizard, and we'll go next. I will leave the link to be able to download this data set in our comment below. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 data set that we've just imported into the MySQL workbench. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successfully imported into. So this is how you import it into your MySQL workbench to be able to analyze this data. Now that we are able to import our data, let's start with some statement. So let's first start with the select statement. So as you see, the hash here is used for a single comment. So I'm just putting this here just for explanation purpose. So this is our select statement. So what is select statement? Select statement is used to select data from a database, and the return is stored in a result table called the result set. So let's try an example first. Let's say select So we're telling SQL to select, and then this asterisk from categories, and then when we run it, you can see it here. So we have beverages, condiments, confections. You can see from the table that we have here. So also, for example, if we go ahead and tell SQL to, let's try it again, we can tell it to select from categories. We can say customers, and when we run it, you'll see this is the table for the customers that is right here. And we can give it an example for employees, and if we run it, you can see these are our employees, birth date, photo, and some notes. We can also say select customer So we can also say select customer name, the city from customers. So this table, and if we run it, as you can see, the customer name is here and then the city is here. So based on the requirement on a real work scenario, depending on what you wanted to find in the table, you can be able to select it. Now let's talk about the select distinct statement. The select distinct statement is used to return only distinct, let's say different value inside a table or column, and often contains many duplicate values, and sometimes you only want a list different distinct value. So what is a select distinct statement? So let me go ahead and explain this statement to you. So imagine you have a big box of colorful marbles, but some of them are the same color. Now if you want to know how many different colors of marbles you have without counting the same color twice, you will use a magic spell called select distinct. When you say select distinct color from marbles, the magic spell goes through all the marbles and show you only one of each color. It's like having a list of all unique colors in your box without any repeat. This helps you know exactly how many different colors you have without having to look at each marbles one by one. So now let's see how this works. So first let's go ahead and say select. So select countries from customers, and if we run it, this is what we get. You see Germany, Mexico, UK, Sweden, Germany, France. So as you can see, there's the Mexico, and Mexico is being repeated. And then let's try another one using the distinct statement. Now let's go ahead and try using the distinct statement. So let's say select. And if we run it, as you can see, it's not repeating the Mexico. It's distinct: Germany, Mexico, UK, and it's all unique, distinct. It's able to select them distinctively. Now let's talk about the where clause. So what is the where clause? Let me explain this to you. So the where clause is used to filter data. So imagine you have a big bag of candies and you want to find only the candies that are your favorite flavor. The where clause is like a special filter that you can use to tell the bag to show you only the candies that are cherry flavored. So when you say where flavor equals to cherry, it's like telling the bag, hey bag, please give me only the candy that tastes like cherry. The bag then goes through all the candies and give you only the ones that match your request. This is way you don't have to look at all the candies. You only get the ones you really want. So that's how you use the where clause. So let's practice this in a real time using our data set. So in order for us to practice, we can say so here we're telling select from customers where country is Mexico, and when we run it, you can see this is where customers are, and these are all where they are all from Mexico. So Anna, Trujillo, and Peraldes is from Mexico. So this is how we select. It's based on the requirement from your job. They'll be able to ask you to select from customers from only Mexico, and you'll be able to analyze this. We can also say where country equals to Germany, and when we run it, you can see these are the people all from Germany. So this is how you use the where clause. We can also say select from customers where the customer ID, let's say the customer ID is equal to 1, and when we run it, it will be able to give us where the customer ID is number 1. Or if we put 2 and we run it, it will give us where the customer ID is 2. So hence this is how you do it. We use the where clause. So another thing that I would like to discuss is in conjunction with the where statement is the and, or, and not operators. So when do we use this? The and operator displays a record if all the conditions separated by the and are true. So if the statement is true, then we use and. Or, so when do we use or? The or operator displays a record if any of the conditions separated by or is true. And also when do we use not? The operator not displays a record if the condition is not true. So let's practice this in real time. So we can say So as you can see, you can say select from customers where country equals to Berlin, Germany, and the city is Berlin. And if we run it, you'll be able to see customer name that is from city Berlin and Germany. And based on this, we can be able to analyze. Maybe we want to see where they live, their address, their contact name, maybe their postal code. So based on the requirement, we'll be able to analyze this as a data analyst. Okay, so let's try with the or statement, or operator, sorry. So for the or operator, let's say select from customers where country, or let's say where city is, let's say the city is Berlin, or the city is, let's say, Munich. So as you can see, we're able to select from customers where city is Berlin or city is München. As you can see, München or Munich, whatever you want to pronounce it. So that's how it is. So let's try with a not operator. So we can say select from customers where not country equals to. So we're telling our MySQL that we want to select from customers, but we don't want any country from Mexico. So let's run it. So you can see we're able to select customers from different countries and cities, but we exclude Mexico. So that's how you use also the not operator. Now let's try to combine how to use combine the and, or, and not operator. Let's see how we can combine. So we can say select from customers where okay, so as you can see, in order for us to we can combine this and play with this as well. So we can say select from customers where country equals to Germany, and we want the city also should city Berlin, or the city could also be München. So we want either of those. So, and if you run it, you can see these are people of a country. We're able to set customers from Germany, and their city is either Berlin or München. So these are only two customers that we can find in our data. So based on the requirement, we can be able to execute this as well. So let's try another example. We can say select from customers where so we can also say select from customers where not country Germany and not country USA. So basically we're telling MySQL that we don't want, we want to select from customers, but we don't want countries from Germany and then the USA. And if we run it, you will be able to select from customers from all over the world that is in our data, but we will exclude the customers from Germany and USA. So based on the requirement, we can be able to do this as well. Now let's also practice another statement that I like us to talk about is the order by keyword. So what is this used for? This order by keyword is used to sort the results set in ascending or descending order. The order keyword sorts the records in ascending order by default. By default, it's sorted by ascending order. To sort the records in descending order, we use the DES. Sorry, we use the DESC. So that means we want it to be a descending order. So now let's go ahead and practice this in real time. So we can say okay, so we can say select from customers order by country, and this will do it in an ascending order. So if we run it, you can see this will be ascending order. So as you can see, it will sort this out for us, or order by country with ascending order. So these are countries, these are customers with no country. So it will sort it up on an ascending order, and you see we will start from Argentina, Belgium, Brazil in an ascending order. So in order for us to sort it out in descending order, all we just have to do is to bring the descending order operator here. So we just type DES, which is pretty much descending order, and when we run it, it will be able to sort the country for us in a descending order. So we start from V, USA, and all the way down to where we have no country assigned. We can also do it for several columns. So we can also say select from customers, order by country, and then we can also say customer name. And if we run this, it will be able to sort it for us also based on the requirement in ascending order. So as you can see, we were able to sort it out for us from ascending order, started from countries where customer name and they don't have a country number, so Argentina, and then customer name, which is also ascending order. So that's how pretty much you're able to do it for several columns as well. Another thing that I would like you guys to know also is we can also select from customers, order by country. In this time around, we'll tell it that we want the country to be ascending order, and then the customer name should be descending order. And if we run it, we will be able to see our country in ascending order, and the customer name will be in a descending order. So as you can see, our customer name are being arranged from descending order, whilst the country names are ascending order. So this is pretty much how you do it for several columns. So let me walk you guys through another statement, which is the insert into statement. So what is this used for? The statement is used to insert a new record in a table pretty much. So let's try this with an example. All right, so as you can see, we said we should insert customer's name, contact name, address, city, postal code, and the country. So, and the values, so basically the contact customer name is James, contact name is Derek, and address is 234 Dundas, Toronto City, and the postal code 78765, and then the country is Canada. If we run it, it will be able to insert this into our into the table customers for us. So another thing that I would like also to talk about is the null value. So what is the null value? It's simply a value, it's a field with no value. So basically that's what it is. So let's try with an example. So an example will be, let's say, so basically what we are doing here is we said we should select from customer name, contact name, address, from customers where the address is now. So where the address has no value. So when we run this, we'll be able to see this is the table with customers with now value. So this is the value in this table. So based on the requirement, maybe we want to delete it to clean the data for data hygiene. We can do that. Another thing that I would like to discuss with you guys, it will be the update statement. So that what is the update statement used for? It's used to modify the existing records in a table. So let's go ahead and try an example. So an example will be, we can say update So now what we're basically saying here is we should update customers and set contact name M.DAMALIE where country equals to Germany. So if we run this, so then we'll be able to update customers, set customer name to Juan and where country equals to Mexico, and we'll run this. It will give us, we'll be able to see Juan being set into where the country is Mexico. So that's pretty much how we use the update statement. Another thing that I would like to highlight is be careful when updating records. If you omit the where clause, all records will be updated. So just be careful when you're using the update statement. Make sure you use the where, so you know, making sure where exactly you wanted to update or make the changes to. Also false. Let's talk about the delete statement. So the delete statement is used to delete existing record in the table. So let's go ahead and do an example. So we can say so this we're saying delete from customers where customer name equals Alfred for test keys, and when we run it, it will delete it for us. So hey folks, okay, so another thing that I would like to talk about is the select top clause or limit. So the top clause is used to specify the number of records to return. In MySQL we use the limit. So let's go ahead and do an example. So an example will be select from customers limit to 3, and then if we run it, it will be able to limit us to only 3. So if we say 4, it will go ahead and limit us to 4. 1 2 3 4. So that's how we use this clause. Thank you for watching MySQL tutorial. Keep practicing and stay tuned for more exciting content. Like, subscribe, and happy coding.